Sounds like akane, and it also sounds like what is this Summer Wars Dead Man Wonderland shit? Yeah, this is totally akane. Totally akane. Yeah, whatever. Just know the church bullshit, but VR. Oh shit, their VR looks kind of sick. Um, what I was trying to say slash going to say, but I got distracted by reading. The show saying that she sounded like Kanye, and the guy sounded like I forget his fucking name. The masked guy from Konosuba sounded like him a little bit. Very culty, not culty. Not very, very, very churchy. Which is like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, there would be churches about this shit. Like, I am the Reverend. Tell me, give me your sins and your worries. Oh, I have all the answers. Oh, yes. Oh, of course, that would pop up. Makes perfect fucking sense. That's cap. Oh wait, Kogami specifically? Why? What's up? Tell me about it. Let's talk about it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Mm, I disagree. Not necessarily. Ooh, hey, the boys. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I kind of figured. Damn. Really? Wow. That's fucking crazy to me. Oh wow. Okay. Huh. That kind of supports my hollow clothes theory. It's like, oh, you can't sit on a, you can't sit on a, God fucking damn it. Talk to him. He seems to only hate Masaoka. No. True. Hmm. So be careful. Don't fuck it up. Kane. Spooky boogie. Eh? Hey yo, this is like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Holy shit. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Dream you to marry? Hello? Spooky boogie. Anarchist. Oh shit. Exactly. Yo, that nigga got. Oh, really? You can just force people to do that? What the fuck? Really? Oh, you hacked me too? Okay, bitch. What's good? What's up? What you want? Really? Hmm. Oh, it's one of her friends. 100%. Oh, this is just somebody we don't know yet. What do you mean? Hmm. Oh, he was like, I'm cashing out. Hmm. Yeah, he was like, I want money now. I'm cashing out. People was like, fuck it, I'm out. And then one of his fans got mad. You're telling her too much. Shut up. Oh my god. True. I don't know about that. Bro, that's the doctor from Guilty Gear? Damn, talk your shit. Ooh. Ooh, okay, Akane. Hold up. Okay, a bit of her unfilteredness is coming through. Talk shit. Yo, Akane doing her thing. Hold up. She said, what's up? What's going on? She ain't kind of, I don't know. Look at her psychopaths. Or the investigators or whatever. Yep. Mm. I'm like, he's not stupid. He must know. Like, he must have a backup plan. I was kind of hoping, and he does. Okay, good. Damn, y'all niggas just shooting people. Ah, feels bad. Oh, yeah. I was like, don't dox her. He's from the dox her. Damn, get caught. Uh, dude from Tokyo Ghoul. Hello. Yeah, alright. That was fast. She's not dead, by the way. Let's see, like snapped her neck. We finna have a part two. Hmm. Yeah. Alright. Okay, that was interesting. Let me sync right quick. I don't really think there's much to really talk about. I'm still gonna rewatch it, just in case. The only thing that I really care to talk about off the top of my head is oh god, the hollow shit. It's the hollow shit. So like what I was gonna say was that I forget what my speech was, if it was like, oh, it's in support of my shit or not. But I feel like I said it's in support of my theory that all the clothes are just hollow. At least some particular ones are hollow. Um, I feel like that's probably a fact because I mean, look what Akane did. But I mean, not all of her clothes can be hollow. Maybe they just overlay. I don't know, right? Regardless, I don't think that they wear clothes. I think they wear those pads usually, and that's what's at least at the very least for women only, right? Or at least for her and her job that she's in, or whatever. And the couch, like you can't sit on physical. I mean, you can't sit on a hollow couch, obviously. So the make it hollow, but like 3D printed shit, that one is wrong. Okay, that one, like that possibility that I put out, that's wrong. So you can't make hollow shit physical. At least with that, at least with home shit, right? But I'm not throwing that away 100%. So physical thing has to be there, and the thing just syncs it up to the room and it overlays on top of it to give the illusion that it's like that. Okay, that's kind of viable in real life, really. Like I'm pretty sure if it's not viable, then it already happened. But just to like a kind of pseudo lesser extent. I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put it past uh people to have already made that. But that leads credence to my thing, which is because hello, which is because she has those pads. At least on the intro, she has those pads on her vagina and tits or whatever. They project shit and it overlays like it. Let's say she has like a size or whatever. It gets her size, her theoretical size. It gets whatever suit that she wants, overlays it on top. Is like, okay, where are your breasts? Okay, bet sync the top part up to right here. Okay, where's your vagina? Okay, then like we already have your measurements because you probably go to physical exam, so your measurements are probably on file. So okay, we have your measurements. Okay, cool. Your vagina's here, your tits are here. Okay, these are more or less your measurements, and it's synced. And that's it. Like I said, I don't know if I really want to talk about anything else. I'll rewatch it, but oh gosh. So, I went over the hollow clothes and the hollow couch shit, so I don't really need to go over that. I feel this was a very slight one, but I retract it now. But fuck it. Konizuka and the woman, did they have sex again? Because Konizuka, I forget her name, but I'm gonna just go with that. She was off today with Masaoka, and when they went into the thing, into her like office, the lady's office, she was smoking again. And then they did a weird close up on, like, I ain't gonna say weird, but they did a close up on her like smoking a cigarette and like the red lipstick and all that bullshit, and then she like winked at Konizuka, and it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. Did y'all fuck again? But like I said, I don't like that was like a slight thing. As I was rewatching it, I was like, maybe not. But maybe I'm tripping or whatever. um, the victim was living comfortably as an affiliate, so pretty much a fucking YouTuber, and he had hollow shit in his apartment, which brings up the question once again, like comfortably, quote unquote. What does that mean? Okay, obviously he doesn't really have to worry about bills or anything because he's just doing his own thing. He doesn't go out, so he doesn't not like he spends money, right? So what does comfortable mean? I would imagine it's like to a point where you don't have to really stress over bills or food. At the very least, you don't have to like stress over that shit. You're like, I got it. As long as I do this, I'm pretty decent, or I'm good, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe you don't have to worry about it at all, right? Um, and if that's the case, again, who has the hollow shit in their house? Like, are there different grades to it? If you work period, just do you have it? Do you get it regardless of where you are, as long as you're like within like a certain like it's like city or like area? Like if you're within, like if you're not in isolated areas that aren't connected to the civil system at all, or if you're in, or if you're not in abolition areas, as long as you're not in those two places, do you still get it? Or is it like what I was saying before, as in like, oh, are there different tiers of like the quality of the shit? And if you're here, you get this, and if you're there, you get that, or you don't get anything. Is it like that? Like who gets what? Like are there, and then who gets what? But also are there different? And if they do or don't, are there different like degrees to like the quality of the product of the hollow shit that you get? It just brings up that question all like again, because we haven't really got an answer to it. This guy has been impersonating Talisman for 2 months as well as the OG. I peeked it when the guy was like, "Oh, you'll do it better than she did" when he killed Spooky Boogie. I want to know her real name, but fuck it, I'm not done with the episode yet. Rewatching it, so who cares? I'm gonna just say her name later. I'll look at her name. I'll probably put it in the fucking episode or something. I don't know in this discussion, but yeah. After he killed the Spooky Boogie, he was like, "Yeah, you do it just as good as her." It's like, all right, that's a kind of a feat for this guy. He's very good at impersonating people. Even Gino was like, yeah, that's interesting. He's been like, he brought it up. He was like, yeah, this dude was impersonating a Talisman for 2 months straight, as good as the original. Interesting. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's a point for his skills, I guess, or like his feats. Akane's thing is called lemonade candy. Okay. Akane's online name is Lemonade Candy, which is like, okay, sure. Hold on, I'm writing this down. Why is she so popular? Like, why? Now, Spooky Boogie or Sugawara Shouko. So Shouko, she okay. Well, this ties into everything else, so fuck it. So why is she so popular? Because of the rumors. Okay, what the fuck are the rumors? One. Two, is it because of the group? And it's like, okay, since they knew who Spooky Bookie really was, which is Shouko, since they knew she was Shouko, could they have found out Akane's shit because she's the new addition, she's the new recruit to the bureau. She's a girl. She's a really upstart, bubbly girl. Yay, woohoo! Even Kagati said that shit off rip. He was like, "Oh yeah, there aren't many like girls like you around here. So like, my bad if I'm too like all up in your face, but it's kind of exciting." Or whatever the fuck he said. He's at that first episode, so it's like if he noticed it, I'm pretty sure people around them noticed it. So it's like, yeah, did they catch their attention? And then catching their attention in real life, catching her catching fuck me, them getting her getting their attention in real life. They could have easily have just found out who the fuck she was online the same way that they found out who Shouko was online, right? And or someone within the group or the group themselves knew Akane before she became a detective or was classmates with her, like Shouko, right? Akane, during their talk, she said, "Could you possibly be?" So obviously she has a hint, or she knows who it is, and she just didn't say so. Shouko also mentioned that she's a security bureau star. So, if my other thing was wrong, that this is my like initial thing, but then as I continued to watch, I wrote down other shit. Since Shouko brought up that, oh, you're a security star, like a security bureau star or whatever, and like, okay, so then I rethought it and I was like, maybe she wasn't saying she was popular online like I initially thought or kind of assumed, or like they're like more intertwined or whatever. Maybe it was like, since she knew who she was already in real life because they graduated together, so she would obviously know at least vaguely where she's going to work at, obviously. right? So since she knew who she was in real life already, maybe she was like, oh, okay, well, I know who you are in here. I'm like, I know your avatar, or like somehow. That's still weird though. Because how could she know that that's her avatar? Regardless, she somehow knew Lemonade Candy was Akane, and she knew Akane was in the fucking security bureau. So she was like, oh, you don't know how popular you are, do you? I've heard rumors about you, IRL. But since I know who you are online, I'm just gonna refer to you like your IRL. Like I'm gonna refer to your IRL self instead of your random fucking online personality, right? So yeah, if this is the case, there are rumors IRL, which makes way more sense, like I said, because obviously her entering the security bureau, her being her who she is and what she looks like, it's gonna shake niggas up and it's gonna catch people's attention. So that makes perfect sense to me. Um, Spookie's dead, and she's a classmate of hers. So if she does actually look into like this shit at all, like because she said, "Hey, look me up in a," like she said it like twice or something, like 3 times. Like they kind of like hinted it like 3 or 4 times. I think within that one conversation, Akane was like, "Could you be spooky?" Shouko herself was like, "Hey, look me up." And then 3, she was like, "I heard rumors about you," RL hinting that she knows about her even more. And then it was like another time, it was like super small. I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 times that they kind of hinted at like her knowing her in real life or whatever. So Akane should totally look into this, and if she does, it'll be pretty easy to find the dead body because she'll know who she is. Because because like Akane said, she was like, "Oh, could you be?" So she already kind of had a hint, I guess. I'm assuming, right? Even though her intuition is fucking dog shit. Even in this episode, it was kind of trash as well. Well, she didn't. I ain't gonna say trash, but she didn't really do anything. It was mostly everybody was carrying her, and she was just like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Um, we'll get more into that after this. Because she did do something that surprised me. I'm pretty sure you saw or heard or whatever. Back on train of thought. Hello. Fuck. So she already had a hunch. So I'm gonna assume that if she looks into her at all, she's gonna be like, oh, well, she's fucking missing. I'm gonna go to her place of residence. I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty easy to find. I'll go to her place of residence. Oh, okay. Before anybody can report it, we got there early. We found some evidence or something. Boom, we're closer to the group. Off rip. Or she forgets about it somehow, or she looks into it but she doesn't look into it deep, or she doesn't care that much, and then somebody reports it, and then when she sees the dead body, she's gonna be like, oh, I know who the fuck this is, oh shit. And then maybe somehow that'll connect her to the group, because she'll be like, oh, I knew her, I know her backstory a little bit, like we knew each other in class, this is how she was in class, this is what she went through, if she went through anything at all, blah 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 blah. Why would the group, my bad, why would the group target her, blah blah blah. And then it could somehow tie back into the group instead of hyper directly with my other theory that I just came up with before this one. So it's like, one is like hyper, oh, we get there early, obviously, like the most optimal or whatever, not the most optimal, but obviously I'm looking at this from a point of like optimism. I wouldn't even call it optimist, you know what I mean. I'm looking at it from a certain perspective, like, okay, you get there early before, people can report it, before it sits there too long, you find some evidence, boom, you're closer, right? And then the other option, which is the one I just said, obviously it's like a looser thread to them, where it's like, oh, I know her backstory and shit, da 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 da, but you don't get there early, and you get there only when they report shit, so they can hide shit better, like they did with Talisman or Kimihiko, like they did with Kimihiko. They could, you have to, like, it was a minute before anybody found him, and in that time they flushed all his shit. Like there probably wasn't as much blood in the sewer, so it's probably harder to find. Blah 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 blah. If you get there early, there's gonna be probably higher likely chance to find evidence. So you have that one up, right? Versus getting there after you waited long enough, and now it's like, okay, some of the evidence is gone, shit's changed, they had more time to hide shit, if they forgot and they came back maybe, blah 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 blah, etc. She brought up the fact that, hold on, Shouko brought up the fact that she's an anarchist. Okay, at first I thought she was saying she's an anarchist in VR, but not IRL. But now I'm kind of thinking that what she was saying is that because she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my public face. This is my This is my normal face." I don't think it was more of a hard distinction of online and then uh like IRL versus online. I don't think like it could still be that or a mixture of the two that I'm about to say, but I don't think it was that. But like I said, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I can't just say I don't think it's not because it could be a mixture of two. But now, like I was thinking before just now, like maybe it probably wasn't that it. I ain't gonna say probably, but that it maybe wasn't that it was maybe oh in public VR, like in public chat forums or whatever, I'm an anarchist. But in like in private DMs or whatever, like I'm me. I'm not really a fucking anarchist. I don't really give a fuck type shit. Well, I ain't gonna say not. I don't give a fuck. But like, she's like, oh yeah, in public forums, I'm this way. But in DMs, in my private chat, where I can just talk to somebody one on one, this is me, and I want the bureau in my pocket because I want a favor type shit. Um, I said, I think in my reaction that I was saying that, oh yeah, it was something along the lines of Talisman was selling out or something, or he wanted money because he was about to leave, or he was falling off, so he wanted money, so he could just like he was about to leave. One of those two. Either way, like he wanted money, so his fan base fell off, and or he was falling off, so he wanted money, and either way he was about to leave. Either way he was leaving, right? Or at least that's what Shouko said that people thought, like we're like hypothesizing or whatever. Or like that's those were the rumors or whatever. Either way, he was about to leave, and then my theory from that was like, either one of those two options, a fan got mad or something, and then they're like, fuck you, you're taking money now, or you're leaving now, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna take you over and I'm gonna put Talisman back to the way he should be, right? One of those people, one of those types. Now, I kind of have a different thing. Um, I think it was more of like, oh, he was acting strange before then. It was like he was trying to cash out and leave. Still, however, like kind of the same result, kind of. However, if my initial thought was wrong, that he was falling off, and he was about to dip, and he was just trying to like, okay, I'm falling off, I'm about to dip, and I'm about to dip or whatever, and or he was getting money. He was like, okay, I want money now because I'm about to leave of my own volition, and then he started falling off. Regardless, maybe he caught whiff of the group that like killed him. Maybe he caught whiff of them, got scared, and he was like, okay, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm gone. I'm getting my money and I'm leaving. I'm not doing this shit. And then by doing that, he betrayed his character, so they bodied his ass. He's like, oh yeah, you betrayed your character? Bet. Speaking of the character shit, they seem kind of, I'm not gonna say religious, but like cult-ish, or at least that one guy does, because he was the only one that was talking about this bullshit. No, the other ones were just kind of sitting there, and they even made him kill people. They didn't kill them themselves, which is interesting because they may have a scapegoat and they may just survive because it's like, oh, okay, technically they're not doing anything, they're just kind of there. He's killing the bodies, he's doing this shit, he's leaving the evidence behind, not them, not the other two people, not the blue vest guy or the white haired guy. So it's like, that could be a thing. Also, yeah, like I said, tangent. I totally forgot why I brought that up. Yeah, they seem kind of cult. Like, at least he seems kind of cultish, which is interesting. He has like an ideology, which is like, all right, I guess, buddy. He said, I wrote it down. She must continue to bring smiles to everyone's faces, which is okay. It reminds me of fuck, I literally just forgot about it as I was thinking about saying it. Not night eye, but kind of. Sure, that's the closest I can get. I don't think that was my original thought. It doesn't feel like it, but yeah, it's like, oh, okay, bring smiles. You must continue to live on. Da, da, da. And like specifically with this type of world, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. It's like, hey, man, you're kind of warped ish. I don't know to what extent. I don't want to say completely warped, but you're warped ish at the very, very, very least. I don't even want to say that. You're warped. So it's like, oh, okay, you understand how heals work still. So you're not too far gone. You're not like in a genjutsu. You're like in a slight genjutsu, maybe. And you're like, oh, you're trash. You betrayed your character. You're not giving people smiles anymore. Oh, you're not what I think your character should be. Fuck you. I'm gonna do your character the way I think your character is, and the way the character possibly super was at some point. 100% may as well have been at some point, right? Like I'm gonna copy your heyday because your heyday is your best day, and you should always stay like that. And if you deviate from that and you start giving people smiles, or if you deviate from that and I feel like you're not giving people smiles and you're not the ideal image of what I think you should be, fuck you. I'm gonna kill you and take over your shit, and then I'm gonna copy you to what you should be, either to my head, either to me in my head, or to give people smiles, or to the masses, or any combination of those. So like, yeah. If you're not what I want you to be, or if you don't give smiles to people the way I want you to, I ain't gonna say the way I want you to. If you're not what I think you should be, or if you don't give people smiles, and or he may even just abide by the masses. Like if the general general fan base wants them to be this certain way, he might do that too, and therefore you're not giving people smiles, right? Because giving people smiles and what the community might want from you might be two different things. That's why I differentiate them. So it might be any one of those three. What I want you to be, to give people smiles, is another one, and then what the community as a whole wants. Now the smiles one and the community one are tied sometimes, because what the community wants will probably give them smiles, but not necessarily. So it might be any one of those three or a combination. If you don't abide by those, I kill you and I become whatever. Pick one. That's my thought process on him for now. They had some shit to detect dominators, and the Sybil system didn't pick it up, or at least the dominators didn't. Interesting. That makes sense. Of course, people would make bootleg shit. That makes perfect fucking sense. But these dudes are capable, even though Kogami called them amateurs. Okay, now we're getting into the whole, or at least he thinks that they're amateurs. Let me hold on. He thinks that they're amateurs. But if they are, and if he is right, regardless, right, even if they're better than he thinks, they could still be amateurs, regardless, or at least that one guy is, because they're making him do everything. Okay, so maybe the masterminds, maybe they are the masterminds, and they're not amateurs, but maybe the guy killing people is midou. I think I'm gonna assume that that's his name. If he was a guy wearing the suit and he actually did go down there in the holo suit, that's midou, right? So I'm just calling him midou for now. If midou, if the two guys are the masterminds, then that kind of would make sense. Midou is an amateur. They're forcing him to kill people and do everything. We didn't do anything. No fucking no trace. Fuck it. We're not getting downed. You are. Crazy ideology, bitch. Because like I said, they also didn't say anything about the ideology that midou was talking about spewing. They were just kind of like, yeah, whatever. They were just kind of chilling, right? So yeah. Speaking of chilling and them and ideologies and shit. Sorry, I hate the fucking thing again. The white-haired guy was reading a 1984 book, which is very fitting. Mass surveillance. Even in this fucking episode, they were like, hey man, you can't leave your house without us recording it. Like, I didn't say anything about it, but I took note. I had that just I've said what I've said already. Like, I feel like I don't need to reiterate even more how I feel about this. It's like, how deep does it go? And it's just the more it reveals to me, the more I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay. I'm just updating. Like, so I'm not gonna take note of every little thing. Maybe in the future, it depends on how I feel about it, how I'm feeling at the time of the reaction. But yeah, I took note of that. So it's like, even this episode, they're like, yeah, you can't leave your house without us knowing. Like, holy shit. That's fucking wild. We take note of when you leave and enter your fucking house. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, mass surveillance, propaganda. We don't know about propaganda yet, but like, depending on, the propaganda thing could go into the whole, why didn't Akane know how the fucking Dominator worked? Why didn't the guy from the first episode know how the Dominator worked? Or whatever. So it's like going into that whole rant that I had the first episode. It's like, that could be propaganda as well. It's like, oh no, we're okay, we're good, haha, yeah. Like, what's fucking therapy? Propaganda? Like, we still haven't gotten a fucking answer on that. What the fuck is government sanctioned therapy? Hello? I need answers. Please? Hello? I'm not getting any. So it's like, yeah, shit like that. That could totally be propaganda. The mass surveillance is fucking evident as shit. So it's like, I'm gonna assume at bare bones that's what it's about, and that's at least the ideology of the white-haired guy. Again, don't know about the blue-haired guy. I probably would tie him more in with the white-haired guy as a group rather than Midou himself, because Midou just seems like a puppet. Maybe so far, like, or at the very least they're all in the same group. However, he's the weakest link, so they're like, because the guy was like, hey, do you want me to help you out? We can't have you like get bodied just yet, type shit. I'm pretty sure he said that. He was like, we can't have you got yet, or like, you're important to us right now, or some shit like that. So it's like, at the very least right now he has importance, but what happens when that usefulness goes away? He's probably going to be the weakest link. And from what I'm assuming, they have like at least different ideologies, and or all. Again, I'm for now I'm gonna tie the blue guy loosely. I want to strain this very loosely to the white haired guy's ideology. Okay, so at the very least, these three guys are a unit, and they are the team. And their ideologies together make up a whole. However, that doesn't in my head, that doesn't take away from my point of Midou being the weakest link. I still feel like I still feel like Midou's gonna take the fall, possibly, right? Like, I feel pretty strong about it, but I don't want to say that I'm for sure. But in my head, I feel pretty strongly about it. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, right? Like, cause at first, my first watch of these people, I was like, oh, I don't need to remember their names. These dudes are just gonna be a one episode. Not like a one episode, but like a two-parter, introduction to like more serious but still amateur people. But now that I've talked about it, I'm like, it may, be the villains of this series, possibly. Also, is the white-haired guy the guy from the beginning? I don't think so. He looks different, but he may be. But I'm not gonna give that too much thought. I'm not gonna go back and look either. If he is, we'll find out. Yeah. So it's like Midou has this whole bring smiles to everyone, and if you like disobey that character, or like if you break character or whatever, I don't know. Like, is it if you break character at all, or is it if you break character publicly? Because if you break character publicly, that's different, right? Because you're actively not breaking people's smiles, but also at the same time, what does breaking character mean? But also, it could anger the community. So those 2 points that I made earlier, out of the 3, are like indirect violation. And even then, those 2 points that I made might just be his ideal version of what the character should be in the fucking first place. So really, all 3 of those, if you publicly like disobey the character shit, all 3 of those could really fit the description. So it's like, either way, like, you're gonna die. So it's like, we have him, then we have the white-haired guy with his seemingly like revolution. I ain't gonna say revolution, but like seemingly the system is fucked. The shit's trash. Mass surveillance, possibly propaganda, like I said earlier, like, and all this other shit. So it's like, he's obviously on that shit. Like, they threw that in our face with the 1984 book or whatever. And then the blue vest guy is just kind of there. Like I said, I kind of tie him to the white-haired guy. And then lastly, we have Akane being kind of unfiltered. She was talking that shit. Again, I've brought up her hue a lot. Especially the last episode where I was like, oh, no, not the last episode. Yeah, I think the last episode where it's like, your stress level isn't indicative to your mental state. Like, your stress can be one way, which affects your hue. And then your hue, when read by a drone, tells your stress level. And then your stress level can make you a latent criminal or not, and then you're called in for therapy or whatever. However, you can mitigate the hue, like darkness, by relieving yourself through various ways, so as to hide your actual stress level, and even more so your mental state. So just because your hue level is one way, your hue color is one way, doesn't mean that your mental state is one way. And then to a lesser extent, it doesn't mean that your stress is one way. So it's like, akane may, like, so this may be like a hint at like, oh, she's unfiltered. How are you feeling on the inside? What's up? You already went to the to talisman. You're already going on search board forums and shit on online for online therapy, like asking random people in public chat rooms and shit. Like, that's interesting. How are you really feeling? Tell me how you really feel.